reacting to my video, so it's our birthday. So we're gonna read The Warrior and the Little Girl. So before I read, doing a pray. So it's about his cause, please. Dear Heavenly Father, for this day, thank you for everything and thank you for giving us opportunity to live. Please help me, my family, and my friends. Please support the family and friends. Please not poor and homeless. Please those in sickness and who's afraid not to promise and needs help. In Lord Jesus' name, amen. Okay, so before we read The Warrior and the Little Girl, I have some. So I'm gonna read a little paragraph what we're gonna learn about it. Okay. Here goes. This section teaches about young people, prophets, and kings who display remarkable faith in Jehovah. In Syria, a little Israelite girl had faith that Jehovah's prophet would heal Naaman. The prophet Elisha had complete confidence that Jehovah will protect him from an enemy army. High priest Jehoiada risked his life to protect young Jehoash from his wicked grandmother Athaliah. King Ezekiel trusted that Jehovah rescued Israel, and he did not give it into the Assyrian threat. King Josiah erased idolatry from the land, restored the temple, and led the nation back to true worship. Okay, so we're gonna start reading The Warrior and the Little Girl. Okay, here goes. In the land of Syria, there was a little girl who was far away from her home. She was taken away from her family by the Syrian army. Now she was sold to the wife of an army chief called Naaman. The little girl worshipped Jehovah, even though the people around her did not. Naaman had a horrible skin disease, and he was in pain all the time. The little girl really wanted to help him. She told Naaman's wife, "I know someone who can make your husband better. And so there's a prophet of Jehovah named Elisha. He can cure your husband." Naaman's wife told Naaman to what the girl had said. He was willing to try anything, so he went to Elisha's house in Israel. Naaman expected Elisha to receive him as an important person, but instead of speaking to him personally, Elisha sent his servant to greet Naaman and give him a message. "Go and wash yourself 7 times in the Jordan River, and then you will be cured." Naaman was very disappointed. He said, "I thought that this prophet would kill me by calling this God waving his hands over me. Instead, he tells me to go to this river in Israel. We have better rivers in Syria. Why can't I just go there?" Naaman got angry, and he left Elisha's house. Naaman's servants helped him to think clearly. He said to him, "Wouldn't you do anything to be cured? What this prophet told you to do is simple. Why not just do it?" Naaman listened to them. He went to the Jordan River and plunged into the water 7 times. At the 7th time, Naaman came out of the water completely healed. He was very grateful, and he went back to thank Elisha. Naaman said, "Now I know that Jehovah is the true God." How do you think the little Israelite girl felt when Naaman came back healed? Okay, so that's a question for you guys, okay? So the first question is, do you think that it was easy for a little girl, Israelite girl, to speak to Naaman's wife? Okay, and what do you think helped her to be so brave? Okay, so we're gonna find those answers. 2 Kings chapter 5 verse 1 to 19. Okay, 2 Kings chapter 5 verse 1 to 19. Now Naaman was a commander of the army of the king of Aram. He was a great man in the sight of his master and highly regarded, because through him the Lord had given victory to Aram. He was a valiant soldier, but he had leprosy. The best of raiders from Aram had gone out and had taken captive a young girl from Israel, and she was Naaman's wife. She said to her mistress, "If only my master will see the prophet who's in Samaria, he will cure him of his leprosy." Naaman went to his master and told him what the girl from Israel had said. "By all means go." The king of Aram replied, "I will send a letter to the king of Israel." So Naaman left, taking with him 10 talents of silver, 6,000 shekels of gold, and 10 sets of clothing. The letter that he took to the king of Israel read, "This letter I am sending my servant Naaman to you, so that you may cure him of his leprosy." As soon as the king of Israel read the letter, he tore his robes and said, "Am I God? Can I kill and bring back to life? Why does this fellow send someone to me to be cured of his leprosy? See how he's trying to pick a quarrel with me?" When Elisha, the man of God, heard that the king of Israel had torn his robes, he sent him his message, "Why have you torn your robes? Had the man come to me, and he would know that there was a prophet in Israel?" So Naaman went with his horses and chariots to stop at the door of Elisha's house. Elisha sent a messenger to say to him, Go wash yourself 7 times in Jordan, and your flesh will be restored, you will be cleansed. But Naaman went away angry and said, I thought that he would surely come out to me and stand and call on the name of the Lord is his God. Wave his hands over the spot and kill me of my leprosy. Amna and for Paul, the rulers of Damascus, better than all the lords of Israel. Can I wash in them and be clean? So he turned and went in a rage. Naaman's servants went to him and said, My father the prophet had told you to do something great thing. Would you not have done it? Much more than when you told you, wash and be cleansed. So he went down and dipped himself in the Jordan 7 times, as the man of God had told him, and his flesh was restored and became clean like that of a young boy. Then Naaman and all his attendants went back to the man of God. He stood before him and said, Now I know that there is no God in all the world except in Israel, so please accept the gift from your servant. The prophet answered, As surely as the Lord lives, whom I serve, I will not accept a thing. Even though Naaman urged him, he refused. If you will not, said Naaman, please let me, your servant, be given as much of as a pair of mules can carry, for your servant will never again make burnt offerings and sacrifices to any other god but the Lord. But may the Lord forgive your servant for this one thing. When my master enters the temple of Rimmon to bow down, and he's leaning on my arm, I have to bow down also when I bow down in the temple of Rimmon. May the Lord forgive your servant for this. Go in peace, Elisha said. After Naaman traveled some distance. Okay, so now this last one, this is our last answer, okay? So our last answer is at Luke chapter 4, verse 4 to 27. We'll say it one more time, okay? Luke chapter 4, verse 27. Okay? It's right over here. And there were many in Israel with leprosy in the time of Elisha the prophet, that no one was cleansed, only Naaman the Syrian. Wow. Okay, so I'm gonna read this. Okay, so what we learned about here was that I'm gonna read. So what we learned about here is Matthew chapter 21 verse 16. Okay, Matthew chapter 21 verse 16. Okay, it says, "Do you hear what the children are saying?" He asked him. "Yes," replied Jesus. "Have you never read from the lips of children, infants you, Lord, have called forth your praise?" So what does that mean? That means that we always gotta listen to everybody, and sometimes, like the little girl, sometimes have good advices to help the other people. Sometimes little kids have good advices too. Okay, so sometimes we always gotta hear them, and we always gotta listen. And when we listen to little kids have good advice, there'll be the woman will be healed, the dad will be healed, everybody will be healed if we hear the good advices. Like read the Bible, go to the lake, pray, like those things. Or you could pray for them. Okay, so always listen to your kids, okay, and you listen to your parents, and we gotta pray and listen to everybody who has good advices. Sometimes you, okay. So that's how we're saying bye.